to start about costal cartilage. So you can see here the costal cartilage is an unossified anterior part of the rib. So you can see this is unossified, mainly made up of hyaline cartilage. So it is present anterior to the ribs and attaches the sternoclavicular disc. So here it attaches the sternoclavicular disc because it is going to articulate with the clavicle right over here. So it should form a sternoarticular disc over here. And next, the joint capsule also forms around this because it's forming a sternocleido joint, that is sternoclavicular joint. So here also there should be a joint capsule. And next, it has a sternoclavicular ligament also over there because it is attaching there. And next it will have the subclavius muscle. So these are all the attachments of anterior side of our cartilage. And next, the cartilage is actually an unossified anterior part which mainly have the hyaline cartilage, which is elastic in nature, which is providing the elastic nature for the thoracic wall. And we have the 8, 9 and 10 ribs costal cartilages. So you can count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So from here 8, 9 and 10 they are forming the costal margin. You can say this is called as costal margin. So 8, 9 and 10 ribs form the costal margin, and 1 and 3 costal cartilage ascend, whereas this costal cartilage 1 and this is 1, right, 1 and 3, these are going to ascend. They are like arranged in an ascent pattern. But whereas if you see the costal cartilages like 2, costal cartilage 2 is horizontal. You can say exactly it's horizontal. Costal cartilage 2 is horizontal, and remaining all are angular. So remaining all, for example, you take 4, you can see they're angular. So remaining all costal cartilages are angular. So these are the positions of the costal cartilage. And next you can see that mainly the cartilage have the two borders. There is a superior and inferior border. So you can see this is a superior border and this is a inferior border. And next, 2 ends. It has 2 ends. You can see this is a medial end and this is a lateral end. Medially it will attach with the sternum, laterally it will attach with the respective numerical rib. And next you have 2 surfaces. Of course, this is the anterior surface, and posteriorly it is communicating with, posteriorly it will communicate with the lungs, pleura of the lungs, etc. Anteriorly you can see it is communicating out of the chest wall. And next, we have the attachments. So anterior surface of this first cartilage, you can see this is the first cartilage. Its anterior surface is mainly attached to the sternoclavicular joint, and because the joint is here, so of course some of its ligaments and some of its joint parts will attach here. And also it attaches the sternoclavicular disc, joint capsule, sternoclavicular ligament, subclavius muscle. So these are all attached to the first cartilage. And next coming to 2nd to 7th cartilage. So this is 2nd to 7th. So these cartilages are having origin to pectoralis major. So pectoralis major gives its origin here from 2nd to 7th cartilage. And next you have the remaining cartilages have a flat muscle of anterior abdominal wall, because below this only we have the anterior abdominal wall. So below this means below 7, all 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 they give attachment mainly to our abdominal muscles, abdominal wall. And internal oblique muscle of abdomen is mainly attached to 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, mainly attached to the internal oblique muscle. And we have rectus abdominis, which is attached to 5, 6, 7. So 5, 6, 7 will have rectus abdominis muscle. And now we'll talk about this posterior surface. So this is now which you are seeing now is anterior surface. So back of it, imagine back of it. So back of it, that is the posterior surface. The first cartilage gives origin to sternothyroid. Of course you can understand because the sternothyroid, sternohyoid muscles are going into the inlet of the thorax, right? So they will be in the posterior side of the first cartilage. And next from the 2 to 6, this is the 2nd cartilage to the 6th cartilage. On the posterior side they have insertion to sternocostalis. Sternocostalis, in the name itself you can see sternocostalis, related to the costal ligaments. And next you have 7 to 12 cartilage. From the 7 to the last 12 cartilage, all these 12 cartilages are having attachment posteriorly to the transverse abdominis and diaphragm. So remember, diaphragm and transverse abdominis are attached posteriorly to the costal cartilage, especially 7 to 12. And now we'll see about the borders. So attachment to internal, so the borders are like, as we already discussed, the borders are superior and inferior border, right? So those are superior and inferior border give attachment to internal intercostal and also external intercostal. Of course, the internal intercostal, for example, internal intercostal will be here, external intercostal will be here. So like in between the intercostal space, they are arranged like that, especially to either superior border or inferior border they will attach. That is mainly internal intercostal and external intercostal. And next, from the cartilage 5 to 9. So from the cartilage 5 to 9, you will have articulation with one another at maximum convexity, form a synovial joint with sternum. So they join with the sternum by means of a synovial joint. And next, cartilage 8, 9, 10 connected to the next higher cartilage by means of synovial joint. Even this cartilages which are joined, you can see here, this is called as chondrochondral joint because it is between the cartilage and cartilage, so it's a chondrochondral joint. And even they both are arranged by means of, attached by means of synovial joint. And next, ends of 11 and 12 cartilages are pointed and free. Yeah, of course, already we have seen the typical anatomy, like atypical ribs anatomy, right? Already atypical ribs anatomy like 11 and 12. These are like ends of this are pointed and free. You can see they are pointed and free.